this is the president-elect, of course, Kosha, gives his first interview today. He doesn't mind going into hostile media territory, unlike his candidate opponent, Kamala Harris. And the current bloke, the current incumbent, who was the president we don't even talk about anymore. All focus is on Donald Trump. He's not even in there yet. Let's have a listen to what the president-elect had to say.
I'm a big believer in tariffs. I think tariffs are the most beautiful word. I think they're beautiful. It's going to make us rich. We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let it become a state.
And he's got deportation plans. He wants the army involved. I mean, it's a busy first day agenda.
For sure. And, you know, he's been very transparent about all of these issues. And it's been a decade-long thing in the making where some of these things, like tariffs and all of that, have not been well received by the establishment. He did a little bit with it in the last term, was out for 4 years, and now he's back with a vengeance. So I think he's going to certainly push ahead further. I think Michael made an interesting point, too, about the timing of this with the last topic, that the fact that this is literally the final window before we have a new leader, all these things happening domestically and internationally, can't think it's a coincidence. So he's going to inherit a very messy picture, clearly, on every dimension, and he's going for action, but we'll see how much opposition he's going to be met with, both by the Democrats and his own party.
Just on that, the people that will sit around the table with him, his cabinet, unlike the cabinet here, they're not MPs, but they have to go through a pretty rigorous confirmation process. We've got some names that are likely to go through. We've got some that have already pulled out, and we've got particularly the Defence Chief under fire. How do you see it, Michael?
Well, I think so many of them are actually exciting prospects. I mean, I'm not a big fan of RFK in his vaccination views, but I think his views on nutrition and food additives are what idealistic people who should be in the Democrats would agree with. So Trump's been very smart in placing these high-profile people, including Elon Musk, on government waste. I think the black sheep in the family is Tulsi Gabbard. I think she may face problems in the Senate from Republicans who have concerns about her national security views. Now, if she's able to reassure them, I think most of Trump's nominees will go through. I think his Secretary of State, Rubio's brilliant. His CIA director, Ratcliffe, is sharp as and a friend of Australia. So it's all go from here, if you ask me.
What do you think?
Yes, I think Tulsi and Pete Hegseth are right now the ones, the controversial three. It's those two plus RFK.
Will they survive?
I think so. So it is interesting where the one scalp was taken with the AG's withdrawal, Matt Gaetz. And then the bigger picture here is the role of the legislative branch versus the executive branch. Yes, they have advise and consent. That is part of the process. But there's this idea, this notion that they may be stretched too far and they're disqualifying people for things that are not dispositive for the role. So Pete Hegseth has issues with his marital past. Does that have any relevance for the role of this is the question at hand. And Trump won the presidency with a mandate. The Senate should not be...
With his own premarital and marital baggage.
Correct. So we're past, we have to know what time it is, I think, in the world and in the country, and those things just don't matter as much as maybe they would in a time of peace and prosperity and cohesion.
But the AG replacement was better. I mean, she's an experienced Attorney General in Florida, fantastic.